Okay, so here is the question. So you have two different projects, Project A and Project B. So using these cash flows, can you tell me which project we should select using ARR method? So using ARR method, right? So which one we should select? Make sure everybody calculate, because I'm looking at your feedback and I'm saving your feedback. If any student who do not involve or active in the class activity, then you may have less score in your midterm. So make sure everybody calculate and give the answer. Anybody else? And another thing is that don't be absent, because I can see there are 39 students in the beginning of the class, and but now we have one student absent. So remember, I will always check your attendance in the beginning and at the end of the class. If any student is missing, then you will lose your attendance. So all of you project A, so but you have to tell me why project A. How many percent for project A and how many percent for project B? How many percent for project A? Project A, 33.33. And project B, 31.11. That's right. So 33. So here we have 33.3, and here 31.1%. So obviously we will select this project since we have the highest. Highest ARR. So by looking at this one, we can decide our investment. So this is the ideas for accounting rate of return method. So is it okay with everybody? Any questions or move on to second method? So let's move on. So now the second method is a payback period. Payback period. Now what is payback period method? As you can see the name payback. Payback means how long your business will take to get all investment back. Whatever money we have invested at first time at initial level, initial investment, how long our business will take to get all that money back. So idea is How long does it take to get all money back? All right. All money. All money means, of course, we are talking about initial investment. Initial investment. Right. Initial investment. And remember, if any project has a higher cash inflow or bigger cash inflow, in that project, you recover money faster. For example, let's say you invested $10,000. Your initial investment is $10,000, right? One project give us a $2,000 cash inflow return, and another project give us $5,000 cash inflow return. So in which project we will recover money fast? Obviously, the project which giving us $5,000 per year return, in that project we recover faster, right? So that project will take 2 years because we invested $10,000. So every year we are earning 5,000. So in 2 years or after 2 years, we will able to recover all the initial investment. However, the project A, we are returning $2,000 and we invested 10,000. So the first project is giving us, taking 5 years to recover money back, right? So the idea is that under payback period method, we will select the project which has a shorter payback period, right? We will select the project with shorter payback period. Shorter period. Period means time period, right? Of course, yearly, because we are talking about annual return, right? So now we have a formula to calculate this method. So we have formula. So the formula is, okay, before we discuss the formula, we need to understand the cash flows, right? So we need to understand cash flows, cash inflows, obviously, because cash inflows are really important to decide the payback period, as I mentioned before, right? So now, some kinds of business give us even cash flows, all right? Some kinds of business give us even cash flows, and some business give us uneven cash flows, right? So cash flows could be even or it could be uneven. Now, what does it mean, even and uneven cash flows? Even cash flows means you receive the same return. That's another example is an annuity, same cash flows. Let's say every year $1,000, all right? So first year 1,000, second year 1,000, third year 1,000, so every year 1,000. So this is the example of even cash flows. Even means same return, same return, same cash inflows. Uneven means unequal cash flows. Unequal cash flow. Let's say 1 year, first year 1,000, second year 2,000, third year 500, fourth year 100, right? So cash flows are uneven. Okay. Now, uneven example is much more practical examples. All right. Why? Because in reality, in real business world, we do not have a fixed kinds of return. All right. Our return fluctuate. Our return change over the year. Every year we're not going to have a same profit, same return. All right. So that's why uneven, it's I would say that more popular. Uneven cash flows payback period is more popular than even cash flows. But it doesn't mean that studying even cash flow payback method is useless. Of course not, because in some kinds of business we're gonna have same cash flows, all right, such as renting business. We bought a house, let's say I don't know, let's say $50,000, right? We invested $50,000, and we put that house on rent, and we're going to have a rental income, which is your return. And obviously rental income is a fixed return, right? As per the contract, how long do you have a contract for 1 year or 2 years. So in this 1 or 2 years, we're going to have a fixed return. So which is also example of even cash flow. So that's why we're not going to only focus on uneven cash flow payback period. We're also going to focus on the even cash flow payback period, right? So let's talk about the even cash flow payback period method. So now the formula. So the formula for even cash flows. For even cash flow is a initial investment the money that you invested initially in order to start the business, divided by annual return. Annual return. So same like you can call it average annual return if you want it, right? So annual return, the return you're gonna get it every year, the same return, obviously. So you're gonna write, if every year 1,000, so you're gonna write 1,000. It's annually, right? Average. So this is the formula to calculate even cash flows, and whatever number you get it, that will be number in years, right? And now uneven cash flows formula. Formula is year before full recovery. Year before full recovery plus, so in the same year, unrecovered amount unrecovered cash flows or unrecovered amount, anything you want to call it, divided by cash flows for next year. Cash flows for next year. So whatever number you get it, that's number gonna be uneven cash flows. I mean, that number gonna be your payback period. And by looking at 2 different projects, and then we will decide that which project is giving us the shorter period, and shorter period project will be selected, right? So I write down again. If the payback period is shorter, we select. If his payback period is longer, we will reject. So shorter period will be selected, right? Okay, so let's move on to now practical question. So I'm going to write one question for you. So let's say we have project 1 and project 2. All right. This is the year 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one is, let's say initial investment, I'm gonna write same $10,000 like as previously. So let's say first year is 2,000, second year 7,000, third year 3,000, and fourth year 2,000, right? So cash flows are even, sorry, uneven. And here is, let's say 2,800, 2,800, 2,800, 2,800. So this is your even cash flows. All right. So let's calculate for uneven cash flow first. All right. So formula is, we go back to formula, the previous slides, year before full recovery, right? Plus unrecovered amounts and cash flow for next year. In order to get this unrecovered amount and cash flows, I'm gonna make a one more table here. So that will table help us to apply this formula in a right way. So I'm gonna write one more column here, right? So that column, you can call it recoverable and unrecoverable amounts. So recover or unrecovered amount, unrecovered amount, right? So I invested $10,000. First year, my cash inflow is 2,000. So how many left? 8,000. 8,000 still to be recovered. So 8,000 are unrecovered. We haven't recovered in first year 8,000. Second year, I earned 7,000. So my unrecovered is 8,000. So now 8 minus 7, 1,000 is my unrecovered. So remember, I'm writing in brackets means unrecovered. Without bracket means recovered, right? So, or you can call it negative and positive. So in bracket, it's a negative, and without bracket is positive, like it's here, all without bracket, so which means positive number. Now third year, my unrecovered is 1,000 and my cash inflow is 2,000. So which means 2,000. So I earn 2,000 net comes in my pocket. And third and fourth year, again, 2,000 net comes in my pocket, 2,000. So I make this table easy for me to apply the formula, right? So now we revise the formula. Formula is year before full recovery. Year before full recovery. So can you tell me in which year we have full recovery? What is full recovery year? Year 3, right? We recover in year 3. So year before full recovery is year 2, because third is a full recovery. You can see that already recovered. So year before full recovery is 2 plus, and here unrecovered amount. So you can see in second year, what is unrecovered amount? Unrecovered amount is 1,000. All right. And denominator is cash flow for next year. So remember, this is cash flow. Cash flow for next year. So next is 3. So cash flow of next year is 3. All right. So now we're gonna solve this one. So it's 2.33 years. All right. So it will take 2.33 years to recover all the amounts if we will choose project A, project 1. Right. Now we check project 2. Right. Project 2 formula is initial investment. So initial investment is 10,000, right, divided by annual return. So annual return or average annual return is 2,800. So it will be 3.57, right? 3.57 years. So which project we should select, 1 or 2? Project 1, because project 1 is giving us a shorter period. So we select project 1 and we will reject project 2. All right. So did you understand? Okay. So if yes, so can we continue? So let's move on to the lecture slides. We see whether we have any questions to practice in a slide or not. Oh, yes. So we have this question. So I think you should calculate again payback period for this question. Which project we should select? Project A, project B, or both? It depends. So calculate payback period. Payback period. So which project we should select? Someone said project B. Someone said project A. Anybody else? Make sure you check again. You said project B. Project B, 2.5. Anybody else? Project B. That's right. We're gonna select project B. If you calculate, the project B is giving us 2.5 years to recover. And here, straight away, 3 years, because initial investment divided by annual return. So 42 divided by 14, it's 3. Obviously, it's clear. So it's 3 years. And project B, 2.5 years. So we will select project B. All right. Is it okay? Everybody is okay with this question? So let's move on to next. Here is your next question. So you have a two project, Project Gold and Project Silver. So now you have to calculate payback period for both projects and tell me which project we should select. Both projects same, 3 years. Anybody else? Same or different? Anybody else? Two students said same. Anybody else? Same. That's right. So both projects are giving us same payback period. All right. So we can choose either Project Gold or Project Silver because both have same payback period. Can you check ARR? Can you tell me if we apply ARR method, which project we should select? Same 28%. Anybody else? Same or different? %. Someone said 28% and someone said 33.33%. 28. So make sure you check how many percent if it's the same. 28%. right? So make sure you check it's not 33%. So maybe you're making mistake if you estimate 33. That's right. So both project will have a same return, same ARR. So again, we can choose either project gold or project silver, right? So that is the ideas to calculate payback period and ARR. So I guess you have one more question. Yes. So one more question. You have two projects, project X and Y. So tell me, what is the payback period? Which project we should select? Project X, 2 years, and project Y, project Y, 3 years. So which one we should select, X or Y? So which one we should select, X or Y? Project X. We should select project X because project X has a shorter period, right, which is 2 years. And here, 3 years using payback period. So we select project A. So can you calculate ARR and tell me, according to ARR, which project we should select? Project X, 22.4, project Y, 34%, right? Okay. Now, according to ARR, we should select project Y, right? But according to payback period, we should select project X. Why? Because in project X, our cash flows are bigger, all right? So idea is that if you have two options, ARR or payback period? Which option do you prefer? So we should prefer payback period, right? Why? Because that should be the objective of business. As fast as we recover our business investment, that's better, because we do not know what's gonna be happening in future, because future is unstable, all right? Economy movement is completely unpredictable. We're not gonna happen in short run or long run. Economy has a crisis or economy has upward. We have no idea. So that's why we should recover our money as fast as possible. Once we have already recovered money, then we should think about making profit, which is return, right? But at initial level, we have to think about recover as fast as possible, all right? So what does it mean? We choose payback period over ARR in the project selection. Why? Because under payback period, we recover faster. Okay, so finished. So what is the payback period? 3 years, 3.25. Yes, that's right. So 3.25 will be, so 3.25 will be the right answer that we can choose it. Right? So can you calculate accounting rate of return, ARR, for this project? %, 35.24%. 35.24% will be the ARR, right? So that's all about accounting rate of return and payback period. So payback period method is finished, all right? So now we go for a break because this topic is not too long. So we go for a break now. And after break, we will move on to the next method, which is the net present value.
Nah.
So next method is the net present value. So this is third, net present value. So remember, this is a net present value, not a present value, right? Before we start this topic, I want to send you 2 files. So you can download these 2 files. So these are the 2 files. So make sure you download and you open in your system, because when we calculate net present value, we need these 2 files. So now net present value. So here we're going to make a decision by using net present value. So how to calculate net present value? So net present value is present value minus initial investment. All right, present value minus initial investment. So that will give you NPV. All right, so NPV could be positive or could be negative, because if present value is more than initial investment, your NPV gonna be positive. If initial investment is is greater than present value, then your NPV gonna be negative, right? So remember, if your present value is positive, we will select this project. If net present value is negative, we will reject this project, right? If both present values are positive, then we will choose the highest. So if both positive, then we choose the higher one. We choose the higher one. All right, so remember that. So now, how to calculate present value? You know that, how to calculate present value. So in order to calculate present value, we have two ways to calculate present value. One is a formula based. So that's you already covered in the topic 3. So formula is cash flows divided by 1 plus RT, right? So this is your topic 3, right? And next, another way is, one is this way, and second way is a table based. Table based, right? Formula based and table based. So in this topic, we will learn how to calculate present value by using the table. So remember, I send you the 2 files. So 2 tables, table 1 and table 2. So we will use these 2 tables to estimate the present value, right? Okay. So what is a formula using table based? Formula is present value equals to cash flows multiplied by table's value. So cash flows multiplied by table values, you're gonna get a present value, right? So we can have 2 types of table values. Means we have 2 types of table. One is a NUT table. So one value could come from the NUT table, and second one could be a discount table. NUT table and the discount table. So remember, if cash flows are even, then we use NUT table, because NUT means equal periodic cash flows, right? If cash flows are uneven or unequal, then we will use a discount table, right? And then we will multiply by cash flows in order to get a present value, right? So in order to get, so now the question is how we can get the table values. In order to get table values, we need 2 things. One thing, we need a rate, which is R. And second is a time, which is T. So we need rate and time to find the table values, right? We need rate and time to find the table values, okay? So how to find a table value? So I'm gonna open a table that I sent you before, and then we will use this table to find the values.
Okay. But remember one thing before you use this table. So remember that I clearly mentioned which one is a annuity table and which one is a discount table. But just for your knowledge, remember, if the table values are more than 0.9, so which means your table values are more than 0.9, so which means in annuity table. So in annuity table, mostly values are 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, or 2.1, 2.2, 2.3. So values start from 0.9 onwards, right? There is no any value which is less than 0.9, right? And under discount table, your maximum values are 0.9. So there is no any value which is above 0.9. All right, so 0.9, 0.8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So, but in discount table, you cannot find any value which is 1 point, right? Because it's discounted. So this is a very quick way to find annuity table or discount table if the headings are not given. But I'm going to open a table for you, and we show very clearly the heading of the table. Right? But anyway, we can also find it through the looking at that numbers. So here's, you can see these values are under 1. So you can see the biggest value is this is the biggest value. So which means this table is a discount table, right? So when your cash flows are uneven, then you need this table, all right? Now I'll show you another one. So this one, and you can see all the values, this 1 point, 2 point, 3 point, 4 point, 5 point. So which means this table is an annuity table. But I also mentioned in the beginning of the table is an ordinary annuity. Right? So you can also find it's a annuity table. Right? So by looking at these two tables, we can easily find which tables for even cash flows and which tables for uneven cash flows. Right? Now, so now I'll show you how to use the tables. So remember, if you want to estimate the table value, that what I mentioned before, you need a rate and time, right? So you look at the time which is in the row, and you look at the rates which is in the column, and wherever these 2 points, row and column, where they meet, that is the value of the table that we use it to insert here at the table values. Right? So let me write down a question. So for example, we have 2 projects. One project cash flow 1,000, 2,000, so just 2 years, and another cash flows 1,000 and 1,000. All right. And initial investment is a 2,000. Right. Initial investment is 2,000. So if remember, here is discount table and here is a annuity table. So let's say annuity table. So annuity table is a cash flow which is 1,000 multiplied by table value. As I said, in order to calculate table value, we need rate, we need time. We already have time, which is 2 years. So T is 2. For example, R is 10%. So now we will go to table to find 10%, T is 2, and annuity table. So here is NUT table. So you can see this is the row. So time is 2 and R is 10. So which means 1.73354. 1.73354. All right. So if you multiply by this, so you will get 1734. This is your PV, right? Now we calculate PV for using a discounts. So which means 1,000 and 2,000. So these are the cash flows. So we have to calculate separately. So first year, this is year, right? First year, second year. So first year here. So this is we have to find discount table. Oh, this is NUT table. And discount table here. This is discount table. So first year, 10%, 0.909. 0.909. So which means 909 is the dollar value. And second year, 10%, 0.826. 0.826. 0.826. So 0.826 multiply that. So we got 1652. 1652. All right. So 2561 minus 2000. Our PV is positive, and 2000 NPV is negative. So we will select project 1 because it has a positive NPV, right, which is 561, positive 561. Right? So this is the way to estimating the present value using. So is it clear? Yes or no? Okay. So no question. Then we move on to the practice question. Right? So make sure you use these two files that I sent you before. You need these two files to calculate the net present value. Let's move on to the practice question. So for example, we use the same question, all right? And for example, the interest rate is 10% for this question. For example, interest rate is 10%. Can you calculate net present value and tell me using net present value which project we should select? All right? So calculate. Student, remember now we have 4 students are absent. So because I can see only 33 participants, and we have like 37 when we started our class at 1. So now 3 or 4, yeah, 4 students are absent because we have 30, yes, 37. So 4 students are absent. So of course they're gonna get full absent for this class. If you are not available at the end of the class, you're gonna get full absent, right? So I have the list of the student I can see here, and some of student I asked them to change the name, but I don't know why they haven't changed the name. So make sure you try to use your full name. If I cannot recognize your name in attendance sheet, so maybe I have to give you absent. So my suggestion is to use full name instead of using the short form or any kind of fancy medium. Right. So you finish net present value. So which project we should select? Finish, say something, yes or no, have you finished? Have you finished? Say something, yes or no, can you hear me? Okay. Project B. Anybody else? Someone said project A, someone said project B. Project B. How much is the net present value of project B? How much is NPV for project B? Project B NPV is 13,924, right? This is for B. And for project A, this is for B. And for project A, 8071. Both are positive, right? Yes, okay. So if both are positive, as I mentioned before, we will choose the highest one, right? We choose the highest one. So project B, we will select project B, all right? So is it okay? Any question? Say something, any question, yes or no? So keep in your mind, similar question you most likely to see in your exam. So if anything is unclear to you, please ask me. Any question?
Oh, sir.
How to calculate project A? You know how to calculate project A. So for project A, you simply has to use cash flow, which is 14,000. Remember, it's a NUT. So you don't have to calculate present value for each. So you will calculate only one because you have a equal periodic payments, equal cash flows. So we can simplify the one table value. But in this one, we have a different cash flows. So that's why we need a multiple present value, right? So 14,000 multiply by, so you have to go to NUT table. So go to, now you tell me, go to 10% and time is 5 years. So row 5 and column 10. So what is the value? Tell me, looking at the table. While looking at table, now tell me what is the value? Did you find? Say something, yes or no? Did you find the value? 5? What is 5? You have to tell me table value. What is the table value? You have to go to NUT table because cash flows are even cash flows. Did you find, say something, yes or no, or are you looking for the value? You just 5 years, time is a 5, period is a 5, and rate is a 10%. Find the value and give me the value. I think maybe he log out. I can't see him. So anybody has any question? Anybody who has a questions regarding this one? No questions, so can we move on to the next question? Can we move on to the next question? Yes or no? Say something. So we have two different cash flows here. I think it's the same one that we just did it. Let's say calculate this. So can you calculate net present value and tell me which project we should select? We assume interest rate is 12%. Rate of return is 12%. Tell me project gold or project silver or none of these. Tell me. Anyone else who choose project silver? So project gold is 48,000. 48,000. Can you tell me the value for project gold and project silver? Project silver. No, you have to calculate present value, not just net present value, not only present value. Calculate NPV. So which means PV minus initial investment. That's what you have to calculate. I guess 55,032, it's a PV, not NPV. We make a decision using NPV, not PV. So make sure you do not make mistake when you finding the contract, finding the right project. Anybody else who calculate the present value? Finished? Yes or no? You took too long to complete the question. Project gold is $1,049. Project silver, $5,032. Anybody else who calculate same number or different number? Anybody else? Find same or different number. Okay, so gold 1000, silver is 5032. So on the basis of the value, which is NPV, so gold is giving us 1049, all right? And silver is giving 5033 NPV, right? NPV with these two values. So since Project Silver has the highest value, so we will select Project Silver for the investment, all right? Anybody else? I mean, anybody who got different answer than this number, or anybody who has any question regarding how to estimate NPV for Project Gold and Silver? Any question or move on to the next? Any question or move on? Say something if you have any question. Let's move on to the next one. So next is the Project X and Y. So we assume interest rate, let's say interest rate is 6%. If interest rate is 6%, tell me which project we should select, X or Y. In the both project, we have uneven cash flows. So you can see both project has uneven cash flows. So we're gonna apply, we're gonna use a discount table. All right, so it says that some of you already calculated Project X, you calculated 161 dollars, and Project B is 4,320. It's a much difference. It's not the close difference. In fact, yes, maybe different, yeah, because here is the small value. Anybody else got different answer? Different answer or same answer? Same answer? Everybody got the same answer? All right, so that's means we will select Project Y, because Project Y is giving us the highest value, right? Project Y will be selected and X will be rejected. So that's all about net present value. So net present value is finished. Right? You have one more method left, which is internal rate of return. And this method we will study next week on Thursday. All right, so next week Thursday class, we will study integer rate of return. And another important thing is next week Thursday, I will discuss about your assignment. As I mentioned you before, that I asked department to check whether you're gonna have assignments or exam. So department decided that you're gonna have assignments because since universities are closed, right? So next week I will discuss about your assignment. I'll give you some information, some guideline regarding assignments, and then I will deliver assignments within next week with the submission deadline that I will also discuss in the next class, right? So next class, I'll see you Thursday, right? Thursday morning. And next week, Thursday morning, again, we will start at 8:30, right? Not 8. And please be on time and don't be absent for next class, all right? So anybody has any question before we stop? No questions? Then we stop here. So I'll see you next week. I'll see you. Thank you.